What's up guys, Brian here from Gaming. It's our third episode of Can Eat Game. And for today's video, we will test the new itel RS4 and see if it can catch up with today's mobile gaming phones that can carry out games the way it should. So without further ado, let's start. Straight into its core components. The itel RS4 boasts a MediaTek Helio G99 Ultimate chipset paired with a substantial 8GB of RAM. Our own device benchmark shows that the itel RS4 scored a 418,000 on Antutu benchmark and a Geekbench 6 single-core score of 729 and a multi-core score of 1,979. But numbers are numbers, right? So the real question here is, can it game? We will find out by testing a series of popular games to give you some perspective. Kicking off with Mobile Legends, Call of Duty Warzone, LoL Wild Rift, Asphalt 9, Genshin Impact, and Honkai Star Rail. As always, in our gaming test, we look at how many frames it shows per second during 30 minutes of playing, and we check its temperature to see how well it controls the heat. Well, let's start our testing with Mobile Legends, a game that runs well on many devices and doesn't need a lot of graphics power for a mobile game, even at its highest graphic settings. As expected, the itel RS4 excels in this game with an average rate of 60 frames per second. The phone is also not stressed out since it only got an average of 54 degrees Celsius. The next game that we will test is the Call of Duty Warzone, a first-person shooting game. I'd say this one is a graphically demanding game with its realistic effects. These FPS games also demands precision and speed. The itel RS4 can still be a useful device for this game, though it doesn't shine on it. Even though the temperature is good at an average of only 54 degrees Celsius, the FPS doesn't really cope up with the game, resulting only in an average rate of 18 frames per second. And playing FPS games, smoothness is a must. Next up is the LoL Wild Rift, another mobile game. This one needs a lot of storage and graphics power, and will surely test the device with its amazing graphics and quick gameplay. But guess what? The itel RS4 handles it like a very basic game. At first, I thought after the Call of Duty Warzone, this game would also be a challenging one for this device. But with an impressive rate of over 100 frames per second, you can play LoL Wild Rift with ease and a butter-smooth gameplay experience even at 60 degrees Celsius temperature. Moving on to the car lovers game, the Asphalt 9. The itel RS4 did a good job on this game. Maneuvering, using NOS, and even drifting are no match for the itel RS4. Even at an average rate of 50 frames per second, you can surely enjoy the thrill of competing with other drivers with your favorite car with this device. Also, the temperature is good at an average of just 54 degrees Celsius. Next is of course one of the very challenging mobile game, the Genshin Impact. The game demands a lot in terms of graphics capacity. This open world RPG is visually stunning, but it's also a real challenge for any device performance. The Genshin Impact, which is a resource-demanding game, runs decently on this phone at high settings, averaging about 20 frames per second. If you are just a casual Genshin Impact player who can ignore a little bit of lagging, then this phone is good. The temperature is also quite okay with an average of 58 degrees Celsius. Last is the Honkai Star Rail. I think this graphically intensive game puts the itel RS4 to the limit. Just opening the Honkai Star Rail and loading resources makes it hard for this device. This game is not just your ordinary game. The graphics and effects of it are very demanding to the point that the itel RS4 mostly lagging throughout our short gameplay. Even though the temperature is good, I did not enjoy the game with this device due to a very low average rate of just 6 frames per second. So, let's go back to the question. Can the itel RS4 game? The verdict? Well, it depends on what game you play. The itel RS4 is a decent gaming phone to cater to your low up to medium graphically demanding game. And that's it. What phone would you like us to do a gaming review next? Comment your suggestion down below, and if you find this video very helpful, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to our channel for more content, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss any future uploads. This is Brian, and see you again on the next one. Peace out!